What if I told you that the bottle of water you're drinking right now could contain thousands of microscopic plastic particles floating through your bloodstream within hours, or that some of America's most trusted water brands have sent children to the hospital with liver failure? Here's something even more disturbing. That premium spring water you paid $3 for might actually be coming from the same tap in your kitchen, just with a fancy label slapped on it. I'm about to expose something the bottled water industry desperately doesn't want you to know, and by the end of this investigation, you'll never look at bottled water the same way again. The multi-billion-dollar bottled water industry is built on a fundamental promise: purity. We reach for these bottles believing we're making a safer, cleaner, healthier choice than tap water. We take them to work for convenience, grab them at church because we think they're safe, trust them for our families. But this year, numerous bottled water brands across the United States are coming under fire for their questionable quality and dangerous contamination. Some have hospitalized people, others have been caught in massive deception schemes. And the scary part, you've probably drunk at least one of these brands. Let's start with the most horrifying case, one that turned people's livers into ticking time bombs. Real Water, marketed as a premium alkaline water by Affinity Lifestyles, stands as perhaps the most devastating example of what can go wrong. This product was directly linked to an outbreak of acute non-viral hepatitis
lesions
in
here,
Nevada.
liver is inflamed with focal
hospitalized
necrosis.
5 children,
It's significant.
What
does that mean for him?
We're seeing damage consistent with toxin
Can you
exposure.
imagine
We're running
parents
panels to
giving their
confirm.
kids water,
Hey, buddy, we're
thinking
right
they're
here.
doing
Stay with
something
us.
healthy, and instead watching them get rushed to the emergency room with organ failure.
Pressure's climbing again,
Testing
and the seal's
revealed
still
that
leaking.
real water
Heart
was
rate's up.
contaminated
Let's keep an eye on her
with
fluids.
These
a
bottles
toxic
shouldn't be
chemical
glowing like that.
due to
He's
a
stable for
faulty
now, but
alkalinization
barely.
process.
If this batch ships
Despite
out, more
all the
people are going to
marketing
end up
about
here.
being clean and healthy, the company was actually just bottling local tap water and treating it with chemicals. The legal consequences were catastrophic. Real Water was forced into a nationwide recall and ceased operations entirely. In June 2024, a Las Vegas court ordered the company to pay nearly $98 million in compensatory damages to victims, plus an additional $3 billion in
The whole
punitive
bottle's lighting up.
damages.
Under the
This
scope,
serves as a brutal
crystalline
warning
clusters
that products
spiking
making
outward.
miraculous health
signature.
claims
It's
can
in the
hide.
water.
We need to flag every batch.
Now,
After reviewing
let's
the
talk about
testimony,
a brand
exhibits, and the
you've
suffering endured
definitely
by this
seen at your
community,
local Whole Foods.
this court finds the
Starkey
defendants
Spring
liable.
Water, Whole
We
Foods
hereby
private
order
label natural
compensatory and
mineral
punitive
water,
damages
came
totaling
under heavy fire for containing
$14.3
unsafe
billion.
levels of
All
arsenic. Testing
right.
revealed arsenic levels approaching 10
At
parts
first
per
glance,
billion,
the water
pushing
neatly
right
lined
up
on the
against
supermarket
federal
shelf
limit,
looks
while the
pristine.
FDA's
But in the
maximum
lab, a
allowable
different
level
picture
is 10
emerges.
parts per billion.
When we tested
Many
Starkey
health
spring water,
experts and
the arsenic level
organizations
pushed
like
right
the
to the federal safety
Environmental
limit,
Working Group
9.9
recommend that a truly
micrograms per
safe
liter.
level should
Just
be
a
below
breath.
3. These
At first
findings,
glance, the water
published by
neatly lined on the
Consumer
supermarket
Reports and
shelf
the
looks
Center for
pristine.
Environmental Health,
But in the lab, a
led
different
Whole
picture
Foods to
emerges.
temporarily pull
When
the
we
product
tested
from
Starkey
shelves
spring
for
water, the
retesting.
arsenic level
The
pushed
marketing
right to the
claimed
federal
pure
safety limit,
premium spring water,
9.9
but arsenic
micrograms
is
per
linked to
liter.
cancer
Just
and
a breath.
reproductive problems. Even though no
Particles
official
are fluorescing
FDA recall
everywhere.
was issued,
That's
Starkey's
way over the
reputation
limit.
took a massive
It's
hit.
unmistakable.
It's a stark reminder
Arsenic
that
signature
even
is strong.
products with that
We'll need
natural,
every bottle off the
organic
shelf.
Whole Foods
I'll start the
halo
poll.
can contain
Keep logging the
genuinely
samples.
harmful contaminants.
Already on
Here's
it.
where it gets interesting, because now we're moving into the big players. Dasani from Coca-Cola consistently ranks among the worst brands, and there are some fascinating reasons why. When it comes to flavor, Dasani is widely mocked online for tasting artificial or chemical. In blind taste tests,
Here we go.
it frequently lands dead last.
Ugh, that's
Even professional
bitter.
water
It's like
sommeliers have
metallic,
given it
chalky,
scathing
almost.
reviews,
Strange.
describing
I
it as
swear it
having
tastes
poor
like
hydration
something added.
capabilities.
Not just
The
water.
distinctive taste
Yeah, like an
comes
artificial
from Coca-Cola
finish.
adding a
Definitely
proprietary
not natural.
blend of minerals, including magnesium
2
sulfate,
bottles. They look
potassium
alike
chloride,
until you listen
and salt
closely
after
to what's
purifying
inside.
the water.
Pure
While
spring
they
water,
claim this
crystal
creates
clear,
a clean,
nothing but
crisp
H2O.
taste.
And then
For most
Dasani,
people, it
enhanced,
just
they
tastes
say.
wrong.
Those tiny
Fine.
sparks,
But here's the real
minerals,
kicker
salts,
about
additives
Dasani.
that change the
It's
taste,
not
the
spring
texture,
water
the
at
finish.
all. It's simply
One after
municipal
another, they
tap
approach it
water
with
put through a
optimism.
reverse
It's just
osmosis
water after all.
filtration
A
system.
sniff, a
Coca-Cola faced significant backlash
Then something
for not
happens.
being transparent
Faces
about this
turn,
initially,
eyebrows
leading
rise,
consumers
and without
to believe
speaking
they
to
were
each
buying
other,
a
they all
premium
reach the
product.
same conclusion.
After public pressure, the company
Tastes like a
finally
swim.
started clarifying on labels that Dasani is sourced from public water sources. So you're essentially paying premium prices for filtered tap water. 6. The environmental concerns are equally troubling. A 2024 study revealed that a typical liter of bottled water can contain hundreds of thousands of nanoplastics, particles small enough to enter your bloodstream and organs. As a product of Coca-Cola consistently named the world's #1 plastic polluter, the sheer volume of Dasani bottles produced contributes massively to global plastic waste. You're paying for overpriced tap water that tastes weird and comes in a bottle that's poisoning the planet. 7. Aquafina from PepsiCo follows the exact same playbook as its rival Dasani. The water is sourced from public tap water, purified and bottled. Following pressure from consumer groups, PepsiCo was forced to add the letters PWS for public water source on its labels, so consumers would know it wasn't spring water. This change came after years of using imagery of snow-capped mountains in advertising, which critics argued was deliberately misleading. 8. The taste. Often described as flat,
Minute fragments of the plastics we discard now travel deeper than the oceans they came
Water expert
from,
Belinda
into the
Chang
very
listed
machinery of our
Aquafina
own
among
body.
the 5 worst-tasting bottled waters, right alongside Dasani. While it hasn't faced major contamination scandals, the Environmental Working Group criticized Aquafina for failing to disclose water quality reports on its label. You're spending money on filtered tap water with zero transparency while adding to the plastic waste crisis. 9. Poland Spring, the leading bottled water brand in the Northeast, has been tangled in a class action lawsuit since 2017 over allegations of fraudulent sourcing. The lawsuit makes a stunning claim.
Bottled water
Not one
labels
drop
hinted
of the
at pristine
billions of
mountain
gallons of
streams.
Poland Spring
In truth,
water
much of
sold
it came from
actually
the same
comes
taps
from a
that feed our
natural
homes.
spring, as
After public
advertised.
pressure,
According to
executives
plaintiffs,
at
the
PepsiCo
original
made a
Poland
change,
Spring in Maine
removing the
ran
imagery
dry
and
decades
stating
ago,
simply where
and
the water
being
originated.
sold is just common groundwater that's been pumped, bottled, and slapped with a misleading natural spring water label. 10. The previous owner repeatedly tried to dismiss the case, arguing the product meets FDA definitions and is licensed by state regulators. But in late 2024, a federal judge refused to dismiss the suit, allowing it to move forward. There are accusations the company uses man-made springs and surface water instead of authentic underground sources. The brand, now owned by Blue Triton Primo, has also faced criticism for large-scale water extraction
That's not a
in Maine
mineral
that
I've
could
seen
be
in any
impacting
municipal
local
grading.
supplies. Poland
Transparency
Spring
report says it's
represents
clean, but
classic
whole columns are
greenwashing,
blank. Under
beautiful
the scope, these
marketing
crystals
that
are
may be
pulsing like they're
completely
alive.
divorced from
Someone
reality.
scrubbed the data.
1.
Whatever this
Arrowhead.
is, it's meant to
Another
stay
Blue
hidden.
Triton brand, formerly owned by Nestle, earns its terrible rating not because of water quality issues, but due to environmental and legal controversies that are absolutely staggering. For decades, the company sourced water from California's San Bernardino National Forest. State reports revealed that Nestle was taking drastically more water than permitted, at one point extracting nearly 25 times its allowed amount. In Erlangen alone, Nestle drew 58 million gallons, when its permit reportedly allowed only 2.3 million gallons annually. 12. This practice of draining a public water source during California's severe droughts triggered fierce backlash from environmental groups and local communities. The legal battle escalated dramatically. In 2023, California officials ordered the company to cease most water diversions. Then in August 2024, the U.S. Forest Service ordered Blue Triton to shut down its pipeline entirely and remove all equipment from the national forest. Critics argue the depletion has devastated Strawberry Creek and harmed forest wildlife, while the water itself meets safety standards and has even been reported free of detectable PFAS. The unsustainable and legally contested backstory of how it's sourced is a massive red flag. This brand has become a poster child for corporate exploitation of public resources. 13. Nestle Pure Life, one of the world's best-selling bottled waters, earned its terrible ranking due to microplastic contamination and misleading advertising. A groundbreaking 2018 study by Orb Media, partnered with the State University of New York, found that 93% of bottled water samples worldwide contained Nestle Pure Life had one of the highest concentrations, with some samples containing as many as 10,000 plastic particles per liter, primarily polypropylene, nylon, and PET-14. This discovery triggered a class action lawsuit accusing Nestle of deceiving consumers about purity. The Pure Life branding leads customers to believe they're buying high-quality water when it actually contains microscopic plastic contaminants. Nestle denied the allegations and released its own test results showing much lower numbers, 0 to 5 particles per liter. While long-term health effects of ingesting microplastics remain unclear, the Pure image has been severely damaged. Adding insult to injury, Nestle Pure Life is essentially just filtered tap water, a fact that wasn't clearly disclosed until public pressure forced transparency. Between the microplastics' poor transparency and the parent company's troubled reputation, this brand deserves skepticism. Quinson Peñafiel, a mineral water brand imported from Mexico and owned by Keurig Dr Pepper, landed on this list due to significant arsenic contamination. In the same testing round that flagged Starkey, pentophil was found to contain arsenic levels around 17 parts per billion, nearly double the FDA's legal limit. This discovery was particularly shocking because pentophil is widely sold at major retailers like Target and Walmart. 16. Keurig, Dr. Pepper, temporarily halted production to improve filtration systems and faced warnings from California environmental groups threatening lawsuits if the arsenic problem wasn't completely resolved. The case highlights risks posed by naturally occurring elements in groundwater. Arsenic can leach from geological layers and remain in water if filtration is inadequate. The natural mineral water marketing loses all credibility when the product is demonstrably unsafe. Consumers should avoid this brand until there's clear proof the contamination is permanently fixed. 17. Crystal Geyser, alpine spring water from California, makes the blacklist primarily due to serious legal and environmental issues involving arsenic. The company's water source in the Sierra Nevada mountains contains naturally occurring arsenic. While CG Roxanne, the producer, filtered the arsenic out, they failed to dispose of the resulting hazardous waste properly. Instead, for 15 years, the company secretly discharged tens of thousands of gallons of arsenic-laden wastewater directly into the environment. 18. CG Roxanne ultimately pleaded guilty in federal court to 2 felony counts: unlawful storage and transportation of hazardous waste containing arsenic. The company agreed to pay a $5 million criminal fine, although the company insists bottled water sold to the public was safe. Its unethical environmental behavior shattered Crystal Geyser's reputation. The claim on its website of being a good corporate citizen directly contradicts the reality of creating an arsenic pond and releasing poison into the ecosystem. Consumers have every reason to doubt this brand's integrity. 19. Deer Park, the Mid-Atlantic spring water brand, now owned by Blue Triton, was flagged for contamination with forever chemicals in a 2020 Consumer Reports investigation. After testing 47 brands, most contained some level of PFAS. Deer Park was one of the few non-carbonated waters with total PFAS concentration above 1 part per trillion, a common health-based benchmark recommended by scientists and the Environmental Working Group. Specifically, Deer Park measured approximately 1.21 parts per trillion. 20. While this is below the EPA's new legally enforceable limit of 4 parts per trillion for PFOA and PFAS in drinking water, it's significantly higher than stricter guidelines advocated by health groups. The presence of any PFAS chemicals that are notoriously persistent and accumulate in the body raises serious questions about water source integrity or bottling process contamination. Anecdotally, consumers sometimes complain Deer Park has a plastic or slightly swampy taste. The brand heavily markets natural spring water, but detection of PFAS suggests potential contamination from industrial pollution or packaging issues. Anyone concerned about forever chemicals should avoid this brand until more transparent and recent testing results are provided. 21. Tourmaline Spring, a bottled water from Maine once marketed as ultra-pure raw water, had testing reveal quality far from advertised claims. A damning Consumer Reports investigation found Tourmaline Spring contained dangerously high PFAS levels, measuring approximately 4.64 parts per trillion. This was among the highest concentrations found in any non-carbonated brand tested, more than 4 times the 1 part per trillion health guideline recommended by the Environmental Working Group. 22. The irony is staggering. Tourmaline promotes its water as so pristinely pure it requires no filtration or treatment. This is now exposed as dangerously misleading, as toxic man-made PFAS chemicals are clearly present. While the company hasn't faced major lawsuits yet, public pressure forced it to address the issue. The brand stated it's working to reduce PFAS levels, but credibility damage is already done. Some consumers also complain about strange, slightly unpleasant taste, possibly due to unique mineral profiles. Tourmaline Spring perfectly exemplifies why the unfiltered raw water trend can be so risky. It often means dangerous contaminants aren't being removed. For your health's sake, stay away from this product until the company proves its water is truly clean. 23. Topo Chico, the cult favorite sparkling mineral water from Mexico owned by landed on the blacklist due to concerning PFAS contamination levels despite recent improvements. Initial testing revealed Topo Chico contained total PFAS levels of 9.7 parts per trillion, the highest of any sparkling beverage tested. This figure set off alarm bells as it was far above health advisory limits recommended by scientists. 24. In response to backlash, Coca-Cola acknowledged the issue and committed to enhanced filtration. By 2025, retesting by Consumer Reports showed PFAS levels reduced significantly to 3.9 parts per trillion. While this is improvement, 3.9 is still nearly 4 times higher than the 1 part per trillion safety benchmark, meaning the product isn't yet truly clean. This has disappointed Topo Chico's loyal fans drawn to its signature taste and high carbonation. The brand also faces legal threats as consumer groups have considered suing over failure to warn customers about forever chemicals. Environmentally heavy glass bottles shipped long distances from Mexico create significant carbon footprints, although Coca-Cola vows to continue lowering PFAS levels. For now, Topo Chico remains a mineral water to avoid if long-term health is your priority. Duopulima, Fiji water. The premium bottled water imported from the island nation of Fiji is famous for marketing South Pacific purity, but its reality is riddled with controversy. Regarding purity, Fiji was famously humbled in a showdown with Cleveland's tap water. After the company ran an ad mocking Cleveland's water, city officials decided to test Fiji's product. Their findings were shocking. Fiji water contained 6.31 micrograms per liter of arsenic, while Cleveland's tap water had none, although this level was still below the EPA's legal limit of 10 micrograms per liter. The hypocrisy shattered Fiji's pristine image, and the company was forced to issue a public apology. 26. The environmental and ethical record is equally troubling. Fiji has been heavily criticized for the enormous carbon footprint created by shipping water halfway around the world to the United States. Even more ironically, while the company exports water for immense profit, native Fijians have at times struggled with lack of access to clean drinking water, sparking accusations of resource injustice. The advertising uses poetic language about rain filtered through volcanic rock for hundreds of years. But critics call this marketing myth that distracts from truth. Its water is just as susceptible to contamination as any other. Besides arsenic, international tests have detected microplastics in Fiji watershed from bottles themselves. While Fiji has smooth, soft taste due to high silica content, its premium price tag and damaging environmental reputation land it firmly on the avoid list. 27. Sam's Choice. Walmart's private label bottled water makes the list due to poor quality testing and serious lack of transparency. An environmental working group study testing 10 popular brands found each contained an average of 8 different contaminants, ranging from caffeine and pain relievers to plastic chemicals. Sam's Choice stood out for having some of the highest contamination levels, with certain chemicals even exceeding legal standards for bottled water in California. 28. Specifically, Sam's Choice samples contained disinfection byproducts at levels violating California's limits. This suggests the purification process, likely applied to public water sources, is failing to adequately remove these chemicals. Regarding transparency, Sam's Choice and many store brands often fail to disclose water sources or provide quality test results on labels, leaving customers with little information beyond generic purified water terminology. This contradicts consumer advocate recommendations that all bottled water companies should be transparent about sourcing, filtration methods, and water quality reports. 29. While Sam's Choice is inexpensive, consumers may be trading costs for potential health risks from products that can contain contaminants and are packaged in thin, leach-prone plastic. The lesson is clear. Don't assume budget-friendly store-brand water is automatically safe. It's crucial to check for quality reports or choose more reputable brands. 30. Essentia, a popular alkaline water brand boasting pH of 9.5 or higher, is rated poorly due to misleading scientific claims and a class action lawsuit alleging consumer deception. The company markets Essentia as overachieving water providing supercharged hydration, implying it hydrates bodies more effectively than regular water. However, a class action lawsuit argued Essentia's superior hydration claims are scientifically baseless. The suit points out that studies Essentia cites were fundamentally flawed, comparing alkaline water to mineral-free reverse osmosis water, a biased setup designed to make Essentia appear superior. In reality, effective hydration is determined by electrolytes, not water pH levels. 31. The lawsuit also targets marketing terms like ionized hydration and 9.5 plus pH, arguing their use to imply scientific legitimacy where no measurable health benefits exist compared to standard purified water, while Essentia is purified water with minerals added back. so it's generally free of toxins. It's not immune to microplastics shed from plastic bottles, an issue common to all bottled waters. Furthermore, the ionization process is energy-intensive, and single-use bottles contribute to plastic waste. Essentia is often viewed as regular water disguised in scientific jargon sold at premium prices. Consumers should be skeptical of choral claims made by many alkaline water brands, as there's currently no robust scientific evidence backing them up. So there you have it. 15 of the worst bottled water brands you should probably avoid. Now let me give you some practical guidance to help you choose safer options and protect yourself. 32. Prioritize transparency. Opt for brands that are open about quality. Look for companies providing annual water quality reports and clearly stating water sources and purification methods on labels. In past environmental working group evaluations, only a handful of brands received high scores for transparency. Transparency empowers you to know exactly what you're drinking. 33. Look up test results before you buy. Do quick searches for data from reputable sources, like Consumer Reports or the Environmental Working Group. Check for information on levels of heavy metals, microplastics, PFAS, or bacteria in brands you're considering. Steer clear of any brand flagged for harmful contaminants like those on this list. 34. Consider packaging and sourcing. If you're concerned about microplastics, consider water sold in glass bottles or cartons from trusted companies. Prioritizing locally sourced water can also reduce environmental impact from long-distance shipping. Brands like Mountain Valley Spring Water from Arkansas and Aquafina from Italy have long-standing reputations for quality and have been reported free of detectable PFAS. 35. Understand the difference between purified water and spring water. Purified water, which often starts as tap water, is typically filtered to remove nearly all impurities, but it also lacks beneficial minerals. Natural spring water often has better taste due to mineral content, but it's crucial to ensure those mineral levels are safe and not accompanied by heavy metals. Avoid spring water from regions known for geological arsenic contamination. 36. Don't be fooled by marketing hype. Terms like alkaline, ionized, raw water, oxygenated, or detox are usually more about marketing than real health benefits. Rely on scientific test results, not buzzwords. As the Essentia case shows, there's no conclusive evidence that alkaline water provides any significant health advantages over regular water. 37. Here's the truth that the bottled water industry doesn't want you to know. The best alternative is probably already in your home. If your local tap water is safe, using a home filtration system is often the best choice for your health, your wallet, and the planet. You can invest in a quality filter like reverse osmosis or activated carbon systems and carry a reusable bottle. According to the EPA, municipal tap water in the United States is often subject to more frequent and rigorous quality testing than bottled water. 38. Ultimately, filtering your own tap water is a smart trend that reduces plastic waste and helps you avoid the many pitfalls of the bottled water industry. The bottled water market isn't always as clean and pure as its marketing suggests. When buying bottled water, it's essential to do your research, prioritizing brands that are transparent and have proven track records of quality. Your health and the environment are better protected when you become an informed consumer. Stay hydrated, stay informed, and make choices that serve you and the planet.